Good evening, YouTube and Track Gang. Oh my, it has been one of those days. And of course, um, right before we got started, I had issues with StreamYard and OBS wanting to play nicely. So hopefully there's audio. It would seem like, well, okay, there is audio. Cool. Oh boy. Yeah, it's going to be one of those nights. Well, welcome aboard, Track Gang. It happens to be Sidetrack Sunday number 4 for the month of August 2025. It is August the 24th. And I'm sure that there's quite a few people in here. Well, maybe not quite a few, but there's a few people in here that were up in Canada for Sparky's meet and greet. Hopefully everybody had a good time. As you all know, life has had a little bit of a different plan for me this month. So it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. That's all I'm going to say. But it looks like we got a bunch of folks jumping in here and some names I haven't seen in a while. So, but let's go ahead and see who all is hiding out in the chat. We got Mr. Anthony Borden. Welcome in. Haven't seen you in a while, sir. We've got Opa Dodge over at the Model Train Outsider. Good evening. We got Mr. Chuck Schreiber. Good evening, sir. We've got Roy over at Container Man 68. Long time no see. Welcome in, Roy. We got Delmarva Rail Fan, and if I'm not mistaken, Delmarva Rail Fan, hopefully I thought I had a name to the channel, and apparently that is one of the few that we do not. So, Delmarva Rail Fan, if you would like to introduce yourself, please do. We've got James over at the Dundas Junction Model Railroad. We've got JD over at Grandpa Rails. We got Mr. Joe Rader at the Block Rock Central. It was good chatting with you earlier, sir. And there's some things that him and I have been working on in the back. Well, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. We got Mr. Ken Amos Jr. over at B&O 51. Welcome in. We got Mr. Michael Schuster. We've got me, and I am not sure if I'm here. We all know that. Well, we've got Mr. Ron Moen in the house. We've got Russ over Rockin' O and HO Trains and Stuff. We've got John number 2 over at the Schuylkill River Valley. And then we've got either Dave, Dave, Steve, or Jenny over at Stormy Sky Rail Productions in the house. Welcome in, folks. Good to see you all. Hopefully everybody is doing well this evening. Well, I got the channel name, yeah. We've got a database that we've been putting together, so that way when we say we've got the channel names in there, but we can also go ahead and, if you want to, it's up to you. You can tell us what your actual name is, and then we can start calling you by that as well. But regardless, so we're hanging out here. Hey, Midsummer Railway and Scale. Good evening, Greg. Good to see you. Understand, not a problem. Completely understood. Hey, we got Dwight Curley over at the Curley Express. Just popped in. So hopefully I haven't missed anybody. And if I have, I do apologize. Obviously, if you didn't hear your name called, you have to be active in the chat. So anyway, what I'm trying to figure out which way I want to do this things, how I want to do things tonight, because there's a couple things that I need to touch on, and I do have something that I want to show. It kind of relates back to what I did Friday, or my video from Friday. So, any rate, I don't know if I want to jump into that first or if I want to jump into the other things. But you know what? Let's just go ahead and just jump right in. As you all know, coming up in October is the Great Scale Model Train Show down here in Timonium, Maryland. I was talking to Joe Rader earlier today, and what we have worked out is the fact that we're obviously going to have the meet and greet on the 25th over at the Timonium Fairgrounds. I'm going to be putting out a form for those that are planning on coming down or coming into town for that meet and greet. Basically what it is we're going to meet up probably, and I forgot to put a time on the darn form. I had to go back and, well, everybody, we'll update people as we get closer to it, but it'll probably be about 11:30, between 11 and 11:30 a.m. We'll be back at the, I call it the Northwest Portal. It's the Central Hall back by the food stand. That's the side, that's the portal that's closest to the modular layouts. We'll meet back there between 11 and 11:30, hang out for a bit. Obviously, we can go ahead and do the show, and then what we've got planned is on the form, when you see it, we're going to have a thing on there for going over to see Joe's Black Rock Central Railroad. Since he's only 15 minutes away from Timonium, it pretty much makes sense to go ahead and go over there and take a look at his layout. And then after that, come back to my place. I'll have the open house as I usually do. And then we'll have food in here at about 5:30. Yeah, you can go ahead and post it up, John. I appreciate that, sir. So that's kind of the plan for Saturday right now, is to go ahead and do the meet and greet at the fairgrounds, and then go over and see Joe's Black Rock Central, and then come over to my house and see the BNN. And then, like I said, about 5:30, we'll get together. We'll have some food here, so on and so forth. Now, the bigger part of this, I have been in touch with the Baltimore Streetcar Museum, and they would be more than happy to have a bunch of us come down there and and wander around the B&O Railroad Museum. So, also on the form, there is an interest part or a question that says, would you be interested in going down to the Baltimore Streetcar Museum? That would be on the 26th. The neat thing is with the Streetcar Museum is starting in September, I think it is, right after Labor Day, they're only open on Sunday anyway. So this works out well. So I just want to see how many folks are really interested in doing that. I'm hoping, and I'm going to keep everybody updated, but what I'd like to do is have a good idea as to who all is planning on being in town, hopefully by the end of September, so that way I can get a decent head count over to the Baltimore Streetcar Museum and see what we can work out with them. So that is a big thing this could very well be very cool for those that haven't been there before. As you know, last January, I was actually down there and was able to play motorman for a day, and basically was a motorman on every streetcar that operates down there, with the exception of the snowblower and the maintenance car. So, but otherwise, the PCCs, the old horse-drawn converted to electric streetcars, so on and so forth, it's a blast. It really is, and I'm not shy. Oh, John Benacki's in the house. Welcome in, sir. Didn't see you sneak in. So that's the things that are on that form. This summer has been hell. But it's just been really busy for me. Hey, Rodney, welcome in. So that's the plans for October. Um, is this going to be open for the public too? I'm not sure what you're asking there, Delmarva. I mean, I'm gonna imagine the streetcar museum wouldn't just be us. It would probably be us plus the general public. It's not going to be, I don't think they'd close it just for us. It would be interesting, but I don't think that they'd be able to do that. It'd be neat, but I don't think so. Hey, Frank Neer, welcome in. Been a long time, sir. So, that's kind of the plans for that weekend. Like I said, going back for those that just jumped in, on Saturday, we'll have the meet and greet on October 25th at the Timonian Fairgrounds at the Great Scale Model Train Show. Around 11:30 at the Northwest Portal, and that's the Central Hall back by the food stand. After that, we'll have anybody who's interested, and it's on the form that John number 2 posted up a little bit ago, to go ahead and go over and see Joe's Black Rock Central, and then come back to my place after that, and I'll have an open house over here. You'll get the chance to see the B&N in person, and about 5:30 we'll have some food. So, to be honest, my plan is I'd probably leave the show around 2:00 to come back here and get things together, ready to go, and so on and so forth. And then on the 26th of October, which is Sunday, we're going to be able to go down and see the Baltimore Streetcar Museum. So on the form, there is a portion of that is anybody that's interested in doing that. Like I said, I'd like to get a rough head count, possibly by the end of September. I think you have to give them a 2-week notice with a group. So, figure, that's why I said figure the end of September should be good. Hey, Colonel Cotton Belt, Jason the Train Freak is in the house. So, hey, New Fenris Railway, welcome in. It's been a long time, sir. So that's kind of the plans for October for the Great Scale Model Train Show and the meet and greet. So I know that we just got finished with a meet and greet with Sparky, Dave up in Toronto, or up outside of Toronto. Hopefully everybody who went up there had a good time. Like I said, unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to. I didn't have a chance to get up there for this one. You know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to paste a link to the Streetcar Museum, because I don't remember off the top of my head, Delmarva. there ain't a whole lot on the top of my head anyway, but yeah. Let's see. Let me see if I can find what they're. Let's see what they say. It says it's open on Sundays only. I would imagine that's probably 12 to 5, so noon to 5 o'clock. Is probably pretty much that. I'm going to, actually it's holding up pretty good. So let's just leave that alone. I was going to go ahead and drop YouTube for a bit. So, but yeah, that's kind of the plan. So, like I said, I think Delmarva, I think the time is 12 to 5 or noon to 5. I understand, Rodney. Understood. Like I said, this is just something that I'm working on in the background. So, all good. We're still up here at the meet and greet. Oh, where is it? Dang it. Oh, there it is. There we go. Well, hey, everybody up at the meet and greet. Unfortunately, like I said, I couldn't make it. So, As you all know, my daughter moved out, so I've been helping her, and I have hair around the sides, right? Okay. Not sure what that is. Okay. So I think that pretty much takes care of that for the moment. We'll probably circle back around to that after some other things here. But one of the other things I wanted to talk about here real quick. I'm not sure if anybody has ever seen this guy's channel. He calls himself the RC Grab Bag, and he has got a layout that he has been working on now for a couple of years, as far as I know. The thing is absolutely huge. He's got multiple bridges and all sorts of stuff going on. If you haven't had a chance to check out his channel, check him out. Like I said, I mean, I know he posts stuff other than just his railroad up, but the railroad is just absolutely insane. He was working on this episode. He's actually working on a hidden staging yard and was talking about how he does his DCC setup, which, even though I don't do DCC, I found fascinating with what he had done. Yeah, it's amazing, that massive railroad that he is building. I mean, it is insane. And not only that, but it's dual gauge in places. So he's running both narrow gauge and standard gauge, or going to be. It's just amazing. Yeah, I don't blame you, James. I mean, it's some of the things that he's done are really cool, and it gets you to thinking, and of course makes some of the stuff that I've done, we won't go there. Before I forget it, I goofed up again here. Hold on, folks. In case those don't know what the Great Scale Model Train Show is, there's the link to the Great Scale Model Train Show. Anyway, that was the thing before the layout. But anyway, yeah, if you haven't had a chance, go check out RC Grab Bag. I mean, like I said, I know he's a much larger channel than I am, but like I said, some of the stuff that he's done, it's just insane. And he does talk about, or does product reviews as well. On this video, he talks about the Jersey Central dual ends, or double ended. So, any rate, yeah. Like I said, Defender, it's amazing the stuff that he's got. I mean, it really, really is. It really is. And I'm surprised that we don't have. Anyway. Watch this Ray guy. He's a real nut. Thanks. Okay. So, hey, Todd Armstrong, Trackside Action. Welcome in, sir. Yeah, speaking of which, JD, I hear that you're headed up here with Jack in October. This ought to be a riot. Anyway, so I was hoping it didn't happen, but I was hoping to get to a point today where I wasn't going to be messing around. Hey, what's going on, Bob? Can't stay in no audio. Dave or DB Tech on the road home. Okay. Sounds good, Bob. Anyway, I was really hoping today to get a chance to get off of the proof of concept control panel. However, Yeah, Joe's going to need backup with that. I hear you, Roy. I think we're all going to need backup before this is all done. Anyway, I was really, I was really hoping to be off of the proof of concept board. However, because of some things that went on today, I was not able to actually cut a board for this. So I'm still using the proof of concept board. One of the things, and I mentioned it on my video yesterday or on Friday, was these turnouts here. These DPDTs are awfully close to one another. I think when I actually do the new board or the permanent board, I'm going to move these away a little bit. They'll be close, but they just won't be in the same position as the turnout themselves. Now, for those, and it was off screen, I just realized that. I forgot that I've got the overhead camera zoomed in. But that's pretty much that. Now, I did have some folks ask me, why did you decide to do this versus using the other push buttons that Atlas, Bachman, Lifelike, whoever had back in the past? Well, as you can see, with as tight as this board is going to be, you wouldn't be able to put those control pieces right next to where the switches are. You'd have to have them lined up. And when I did that, I didn't like the look. So I decided to try something that I've never done before, and that's these DPDT center off momentary switches. Basically what this is, just going back here a little bit, is these are momentary. So these are kind of like the push button switches that you would see, the SPSTs. But or when you toggle these, they go up and you toggle it and it goes back to center, which is off. So, well, Roy, maybe you should come along. Oh boy. So, any rates, I've got these set up on here, and what the plan is, and I kind of started working on this last night. It's gonna be a part of vlog 29 or episode 29, I should say. And I've got to move some things around here a little bit so I can actually get in here and do what needs to be done. And get some tools together here too, because you need tools sometimes to be able to do the job that you need to have, that needs to be done. So got a pair of hemostats that's going to be for holding on to the cable once we get to that point. I don't even know what the heck camera to look at. I've got 3 of them up there. You got a pair of wire strippers, a pair of dikes, and a pair of crimpers for for the solderless lugs, and I'll show you what those are going to be for in a little bit. These guys. So let's pull a piece of wire over here and see what happens. So what I want to do here is, and I'm not going to be able to get all of it on camera, but this is a 16.5-inch wide board. If you look on that left-hand camera, you can kind of see where I was headed with this, kind of, sort of. Let me see if I can scooch this thing over a little bit. Well, maybe not. Okay. Anyway, so what I want to do here is I'm going to take the end of this piece of cable and I'm going to loop it over. The reason for that is the fact that I want to make this panel, not this particular panel, but the panel when I'm done, I want to make things to where I can remove it if I have to. And what I did last night is I went through and built up 2 sets of terminal strips. Now, most folks would be, you could have just gone ahead and gotten a 13 or 14 position, whatever it was, terminal strip. Well, yeah, again, I had these laying around. These came from my dad, from some of the stuff that he used to do. And these were originally designed to be plugged into PC boards for whatever purpose. And what I've done here, and I've explained it in episode 29, is I've kind of knocked a couple of these out so I can actually screw them into the control panel. So basically, this will be sitting on the panel on the panel someplace, and I'll actually take the lugs, and this is for the black wire, obviously. The other one that I've built up is for the white wire. Hey, Randall Ellison, welcome in, sir. Now, what's happening here is this DPDT center off switch, momentary switch, will have, if you've ever messed with the old Atlas Bachmann lifelike turnouts, you know that those have 3 colors going to them. There's a red, a black, and a green. So you've got the red and the green is either side. That makes the inductor inside go back and forth. And of course, the black is your power, part of the power. The other part of the power comes from the switch normally. Now, with the way I'm going to set this up, it's going to be done a little bit different. The white line is going to go to the center pole of this. And from the terminal strip goes back to one side of the power pack. The 2 outer will be your red and green. Those will go to the switch machine. From the black terminal strip, that will go straight to the switch machine. So your power on one side is going to be at the switch. The power on the other side is going to be at the switch machine. It'll make more sense, I think, when I show you a demonstration when I get done with this dude. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. I want to strip this back to about there because I want to be able to make it all the way over. Now, I could have gone ahead and done this ahead of time, and I didn't. That would have been too daggone easy. So what I'm doing is I'm going in and just trying to get rid of the jacket. Hey, Ian, over at the Chattanooga Southern. Welcome in, sir. Got a chance to catch up on a couple of your videos there too, sir. I've been trying to catch up with folks. I really have. So, just hasn't worked out all that well. When you're helping your daughter move out and trying to help her and her significant other or her boyfriend with their new house and so on and so forth, it gets to be, life gets busy. Anyway, all right. As we all know, I've talked about this in the past. This gray wire is actually audio cable. And it's 4 conductor plus a ground. I don't need the ground, so I get rid of that. I'm not well grounded anyway, so it really doesn't make a difference. All right, so we're going to take off this outer jacket here, the silver jacket, and get rid of that because we don't need that. And we'll do that on both sides. And now we've got our 4 cables. We got a red, a green, and a white, and a black. Be controllers. Okay. Just as long as they didn't come with a coyote there, Rodney, we'll be fine. Okay, so the black wire will go to the terminal strip. So that one there goes off to the side. The red, the green, and the white are going to go to there. Actually, yeah, the white wire, yeah, the white wire gets snipped here because we don't need it going out, but I do need it to go to the terminal strip. Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, Tom Garassi, welcome in. So we're going to go ahead here and prep up. Here's the white cable. Hopefully I'm on camera when I'm doing this. There's the green. And there's the red. I'm going to go ahead and hit that one a little bit more. All right. All righty. I am. This is exactly what it is, Delmarva Rail fan. This is it's actually kind of funny. This is a proof of concept control panel. This is not the final control panel. It is a proof of concept. Ever heard of the word go big or go home? Yeah, well, I'm not going to do the whole control panel, but I wanted to give you all, to show you all exactly kind of what I was up to here. So, let me see if I can get this piece of wire from disappearing on me here. And of course, it's going to be in camera. I get to use what my daughter liked to call the stinky tool. Hey, I'm soldering on a live stream. What could possibly go wrong? James. Oop. Don't want to lose the wire. A little bit of rosin flux. All right. Now, let's see if I can get. There we go. I don't think the light's going to work. Okay. Now, the only problem of it is I just happen to think I can't see that, so I'll be right back. It's funny because Joe was talking about the fact that when he goes to paint those little figures from Bernard, you know, he's going to put on his the visor to be able to see, and I'm in that same stinking boat. I can't see a daggone thing without them. Thanks, James. Buddy. Let's see here. I just noticed that there wasn't any solder on the 2 points that I want to use. All right. This son of a gun ain't taking solder. Seriously? All right, well, I guess we aren't going to use that one then. I think the other side may have actually already had solder on it, so, all right. It may not have been the, there we go. Anyway. I'm sorry if somebody's chatting. I can't see it at the moment because I've got the, I see the Possum Bayou's in though. Sorry, trying not to burn the back of the board, even though I don't plan on reusing this for anything, but. I just don't know what's going on with this solder tonight. I wasn't having this much issue last night. There we go. Okay. All righty. What's Thomas asking here? Sorry. Oh, okay. Asking about a motor. Really can't. I'm sorry. I really can't see. I really can't see what's going on with these on, other than what's going on down here. So, all right. Let's see here. Literally. Let's go ahead and put the red. Preferably without the daggone board moving all over the place. It'd be great. There we go. All right. There's the red line. This one here is going to be a little bit more tedious. Somehow or other, I got to get it in. Get it in there. Yeah, look at the freaking nut trying to do. Here we go. Might actually have something here. All right. 2 for 2. One more. Let's try and bring this one in from the other side. No, I don't want to do that. I might get a copyright strike. Here we go. All right. Sweetness. That takes care of that. Now, the only other thing that has to happen here, and what we're going to do, and I'm not going to crimp on the lugs tonight because of the fact that I don't know exactly where this is going to end up inside the control panel yet. So I don't want to go ahead and waste the lugs. So what we're going to do as a temporary solution, and since we're done with this, let's go ahead and put the cap back on it so it doesn't end up all over the place. That would be a good thing. Actually, I can turn off the soldering iron now too. I think I'm done with it. All right. And of course, I went ahead and got rid of removed the cable. All right, I don't need that for the moment. All right, we're good with the crimping tool, the dikes, the wire cutters, and the hemostats. And I'm going to try to keep this on camera as best I can, but all right. So here's my terminal strips. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide this in here. That's one side. Then I go to the control or over to the controller. And then we've got this side, which goes over to the controller, but we need the black wire that's going to go out to the switch machine. I don't understand why these screws are so tight. I don't remember them being this tight before. I've used these strips all over the layout. Take it easy, Stormy. There we go. Got it. Okay. And I lied. I said I didn't need the strippers. I do. I forgot to strip the ends off of here, although I probably really don't need it. Didn't really need to do that because I can, when I bring the controller over here, I'm going to be using alligator clips anyway, so it really doesn't make a difference. All right. Anywho, Fokker Station Engage, welcome in. There's a new name in the community there. All right, so this end, as you can see, we've got the ground, which we don't need, so I'm going to get rid of that right off the bat. And then I've got this white wire, which I also don't need because that's on the panel. So we'll get rid of that. Which leaves us with the black, the green, and the red, which is what we do need. And I'm going to clean these up a little bit because these don't feel great. There we go. All right. So, what did I do with it? Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. Here is your normal Atlas, Lifelike, Bachmann solenoid switch machine. And what you do is go ahead and we're going to run the black wire into the center here. And we're going to tighten it down. Hopefully. Oh, what do you know? That actually worked. Every once in a while, the blind squirrel finds a nut. Unfortunately, most of you found me. And we're doing pretty good here on time, too, amazingly enough. Look at that. All right. So now our green is going to go to an opposite post. And then our red goes to the other side. And this one here, I'm actually going to not take up next to the plastic that they've got here, but take it in on the other side there. All right. Now, if I've done everything correctly, laugh out loud, ha ha ha. If I've done everything right, if I hook up the power pack here, and I know you all have seen if you remember, these were the first power packs that I was using when I was building the railroad. So this is it's an old Rail Power 1370. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one alligator clip and hook it up to the white wire. And then we're going to take the other one and hook it up to the black wire. And I'm going to turn it on. And with any luck, we won't see any blue smoke or any other smoke for that reason, for that matter. Now, what we can do to test this, I'll be damned. Oh. The only thing of it is this particular switch machine doesn't seem to be. Yeah. This one here, unfortunately, has a broken terminal. It's not switching back and forth, but I'm sure you can hear that it is doing exactly what I wanted to do. You can hear it flipping. Back and forth. So that's successful. That is absolutely successful. Woohoo! Wow. I took a hell of a chance. It is, James. It is absolutely. This is an old Atlas slimline switch machine. But yeah, like I said, the only thing I was just trying to do here, and I mean, it's working. Interestingly enough, though, I think it's because this particular switch machine's got a problem. So now the only thing I have to do is actually go upstairs and cut and metal yellow first red. Oh man. Yeah, that's a shame that this particular switch machine doesn't want to play nice. You can hear, like I said, you can definitely hear it's trying to switch back and forth, but the internals are bad. That's probably the reason why it was laying around over at the layout. I probably tried to use it at one point and it didn't want to work. And I can see that I've knocked my cameras completely out of whack here, but that's beside the point. All right. Woohoo! Let me go ahead and get this stuff out of the way. Let me get back onto the normal camera as long as my tools are on top of the mouse. There we go. Yeah, now I got a lot to clean up tomorrow or before tomorrow because half the stuff's on the personal desk, the other half of it's on the work desk. All right. Let me go ahead and get this. So like I said, now the only thing I've got to do is obviously I have to do that 13 more times because I've got 13 turnouts that I have to put in because it's all for those that haven't been following along. That's for Beauville Yard. The yard itself sorry, to scale look like that. You can't see me. Look like that. So, and like I was saying, when I was originally playing with this, doing it to scale was way too small. So I actually blew it up to I think it was 150%. And I still wasn't happy with the size of it. So I went ahead the other day and actually laid it out on a full size, what's going to be, I think it's 10 and a half by 16 and a half. You people make me nervous. So what I did is I actually made the panel on a piece of paper the size of it and just laid trackage out on it and then poked holes in the foam core. Like I said, this was all proof of concept. This is not permanent. Thank you, Delmarva. Appreciate that, sir. It sounds good. Looking forward to meeting up with you. For those that are just popping in, if you are interested, the Great Scale Model Train Show that's coming up in October 25th and 26th. There is a form that I am pasting in the chat. For not only there's going to be a meet and greet on October the 25th. That'll be in the Central Hall, the northwest corner, which is next to the food in the food court, but next to the actual food stand. We're going to do that somewhere around 11:30ish. And then there on the form, you'll see that there is a question if you want to go over to see Joe Rader's Black Rock Central. He's about 15 minutes from Timonium. I'm about 10 minutes from Timonium. And what my plan is, I'm going to leave the show probably around 1:32ish, maybe a little later, depending. And if folks want to go over and see his railroad, and then once they're done over there, they can come over here. I'm going to have an open house as I always do. I'm going to open it up at, say, 3:30. We're going to have food around 5:30. So if you all are more than welcome. It's all in the form as to who, what, so on and so forth. And then on the 26th, Sunday the 26th, we have the ability, or I'm working on going into the Baltimore Streetcar Museum. So if you're interested in that as well, that is on the form. I'm trying to get a head count. I would like to know basically everything by, say, the end of September. So that way I can, work on getting things, work on the logistics and so on and so forth. And, but yeah, I talked to Joe Rader over to BlackRock earlier today. And he was like, yeah, go ahead, put it on the form. And we'll go from there. And I'm like, all right, cool. So we're both going to do open houses. Like I said, we're not too far from Timonium. Like I said, he's about 15 minutes, and then it's another 10 minutes back to me because you actually pass my place to get to Joe's. But like I said, I'm planning on having you all over here after the fact, and we'll go from there. So, no, that's a shame, Dwight. Yeah, well, I don't talk to me about freaking camera issues, dude. I've had more freaking camera issues. I still haven't gotten the extra USB card for the computer yet. So I'm working on that. I'm trying to make sure I get the right card. And I've been talking to my daughter's boyfriend about that, and he's been helping me out with that too. So, yep. I'm talking about having people. Oh, on with you. Oh, okay. Just don't ask anybody to join you. Oh man, yeah. I tell you what. Delmarva Rail fan. I was down there January of 24. My daughter had surprised me with Motorman for a Day and a couple other things that came along with it. It was something that the Baltimore Streetcar Museum put together. It was a couple of books. I've actually got an O-gauge streetcar. You're not. Hi, Steve. So, any rate, I had a blast down there. It was really neat to see. I had no idea what they had down there. I actually got to go into the back shop where they do all the repairs. There is another fellow that's usually in the streams off and on, and that's Boxcar Jerry Satarelli. He actually does some of the woodworking for them. I know he does woodworking for the one up in Philadelphia as well. But yeah, he's been down here doing work for the Baltimore Streetcar Museum. So, but it was a really cool experience to be able to get on those streetcars and PCC cars and just take them around the loop that they've got down there. But yeah, I mean, it's really neat. The other thing of it is with the Baltimore Streetcar Museum, and I actually mentioned it, I think, on my Facebook page for the railroad, is they are working with the city of Baltimore to obtain the old Maryland and Pennsylvania roundhouse. And it seems like that's going very well. It sounds like they're really, really close to actually making that transfer, which is really, really cool. So when you're actually on the streetcars on the main line, you can look off to the right-hand side and you'll see the Maryland and Pennsylvania roundhouse, which should be a historical site, but the city of Baltimore has used it as a salt dome for salting the roads when we have ice. So unfortunately, it's in a deep state of needing repair, which is the other reason why the Streetcar Museum was really interested in obtaining it from the city of Baltimore. But yeah, so let's see. We talked about the grayscale model train show, the Baltimore Streetcar Museum, the form for the meet and greet in October. What What type of a ball game there, Steve? Is the price cheap? For the Streetcar Museum or for the Great Scale Model Train Show? I think the train show, copy hyperlink, paste and go. Let's see. There is a thing too on the website for the Great Scale Model Train Show that you can get a discount too. I'm just glad they finally updated both sites to say the same time. Oh my goodness! So for a solo adult, it's $12 a person. You can get the tickets ahead of time. They do not take credit cards at the Great Scale Model Train Show. It's all cash. So I did, Steve. You missed it. You gotta go watch the replay. We'll wait. We'll wait. Yeah, the October, and Joe's right. The October show is a big show. This one and the one in February. This one and the one in February are the two bigger ones, without a doubt. So you definitely want to get there kind of early, but you definitely want to get there early-ish. So anyway, I think that's all I have had. Wilmington and Western will be resuming operations in late October. Cool. So let's see. It did work too. Yes, it did. Like I said, every once in a while, a blind squirrel finds a nut. Rodney, people have been telling me to do that for years. Take it easy, Randall. We'll see you, buddy. October and February, how can anyone afford to buy twice in 5 months? It's like, it's one of those things that you go there before Christmas to see what you want, and you go there after Christmas to buy it. Take it easy, Chuck. Great. Glad you liked it, sir. Appreciate it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, like I said, people have been telling me to get lost for a long time. It hasn't worked. Why? Because I'm still here. I did not hear about that. If you get any information on that, Delmarva, I'd be interested to hear about that. Better be cheaper stuff in February. Oh my goodness. We just use race. Wait a second. Don't be doing that. Already in a doghouse enough. I'm going to get this camera out of my way before I hit it. It's the overhead. Oh, and if you were wondering how I was doing that, I don't know if it's going to show up real well. Yeah, this is actually the swing arm for the microphone, and I've got a bolt through. I took the original mount off of here, and this is that Razer camera that I just bought with when I bought the computer. It seems to be a pretty decent camera. I kind of like that one. It wasn't real it wasn't expensive. It wasn't real cheap either. So it was cool. Woodston Central Railroad. I'll have to look that one up. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Jack is going he can buy for all of us. Hey, there we go. Build bigger dog hats. Rodney seems to have an issue. Every time his GPS takes him to the backside of the fairgrounds instead of the actual main entrance off of Timonium Road. I'm not sure that I still don't understand how it thinks that the main entrance is on the backside back here on Beaver Dam, but whatever. Then again, my GPS the other day had me going someplace, and I'm like, where the heck is this thing taking me? Why is it going that way? So Jack will do the train show at Jack speed. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to hear about that when he comes over here. Oh my gosh. Oh, you all ain't right, but I love it. Oh, I'm not a fan of GPS. Yeah, don't. Yeah, I hear you. Let's see. Interesting. I'm looking to see. Oddly enough, I know somebody had said that they had filled out the form. I'm trying to see if I can see. Sorry, folks. I probably should wait. But I've got the curiosity is killing the cat because I don't know if this is actually working or not. That's the problem. Let's see. Oh, I've got 3 responses. Cool. Link to the sheets. Create a new spreadsheet. Yes, create it. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. John Dilly. All right. Okay. All right. Cool, Jeff. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, JD. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Yeah, yes, you were. Yes, you were. What is the number on that Razer cam? You would ask that, wouldn't you, Dwight? Give me just a second, sir. I've got the particulars someplace. Here we go. I'm hoping that this works. See if you can. I picked that up off of Amazon, Dwight, and it was the Razer Kaio. All right, Steve. Now I was this is well, we can catch up later, Steve. So, any rate, yeah, it wasn't a bad price, and like I said, that one's 155. Not when I bought it. I bought it for 45. Huh. Did the price go through the roof since? That's interesting. Let me see here. Orders. Huh. Well, there's a different one because apparently the one that I originally bought was isn't isn't in stock anymore. That's interesting. And the one that they've got in stock is only well, no, it is a 1080p. Okay. Let me take a look at this. Let's take a look at this one here. Take a look at this. Let's see if that one works. Or if that link works. Oh, that's cute. They put it in there twice. Yeah, put it into freaking two different links. Never mind. Let me delete that. Interesting. This one here says it says it's $38.75. Anyway. No, it wasn't. It was brand new. Yeah, that it was brand new when I got it, so it wasn't a refurb. Oh, this one here is though the one that they've got the one that they've got on here is a refurb. But apparently the one, like I said, the one that I actually bought, they don't have in stock at the moment. Figures. It's all good. It's all good. Do what I can help. You know, I may not be always helpful, but I try. I mean, I've got one of my Logitechs, actually, no, one of my Logitechs is a used camera. And then the other one I bought new. But yeah, I've got the two Logitechs and a Lenovo. The Lenovo is actually tied to the layout right now. I didn't want to bring that one over. That would have been hard to de-rig. I left that one from when I had everything set up on the last live stream when I did, you know, the two cameras at the layout and then this one here. Like I said, I'm still waiting to get another USB card so I can actually run multiple cameras at the layout. Because I do have, and I've got 3 cameras that I can put over there. But the thing of it is, you know, I want to, I don't know if a switcher is going to do what I want, James. That's the issue. Because I want to have this camera live all the time, and then 3 cameras. Actually, ultimately, I'd like to have 4 or 5 cameras over at the layout. But like I said, right now, I just don't know if a switch would do that. I want to have them all on at the same time, which creates another issue, and that's the fact that they all have to be different when they're over at the layout. So you can't have 2 Logitechs over there, or 2 Lenovo's, or 2 Razors, or what have you. They've all got to be different. But that's fine. That's not a big deal. But I'm not there yet. I want to get the card. That's number one. And then after I get the card, then I can start playing around with adding cameras. I just like to have 3 cameras over there at minimal to start off with. So, and like I said, the motherboard on here doesn't support more than 3. So now, as you saw tonight, I had the face on, I had the overhead, and then I had another one off to the side, and 2 of those are Logitechs. One's a C920, and the other one's a C922. So the 920 was on the desk, the 922 was looking at me. So, any rate, so that's basically all I've got for tonight. Next week is Brian over at the Iron Horse. He's going to be taking over next week for us. And then we're into September. Where did this year get off to? Holy cow. Oh, my. So, yeah, I tell you what, I love the Logitechs. The 920 and the 922 are great cameras. But like I said, I can't use more than 2 of them. Any more than that, and then I'm going to start causing conflicts. Because of the fact that the only other way I'd be able to do that would be to add another card. And I'm not doing that. I want one line going over to the railroad, and that's it. So, at any rate, folks, like I said, Brian over the Iron Horse has got next week. You all know the deal. Wait for the highball. Green tracks ahead. Be safe. God bless. We will catch you all next time. See ya.